Oh God.
Wait, we're still
Oh.
going.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, okay, we're on speaker.
Mute the tea
No, no,
time.
yeah. Let me
Whoa.
mute the tea time. Hello, guys. Do you hear me?
All
Yeah,
right,
we
peace
hear
Yeah.
you,
out,
dude.
guys.
We
Have
do, we
fun.
All
do.
right, yeah. You guys just run away, run,
Fucking A.
run.
Have fun, kids.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me. This is a big honor to be with pillars of the community as Brazil in the same show. So, so how do you want to do it, Brazil? Do you want to like throw at me everything you have, or do you want me to give a little history as if I assume? Why is it that you hate me? Because honestly, I haven't spoken to you a single word until now. So maybe I should just give a little background. Why do I assume Brazil hates me?
I mean,
If that,
first of all, I'm not a fractal boss. I'm not just gonna throw everything at you. If you
no,
want to
no
give some
problem.
history, like go for it. Tell
Okay.
us. Just let's
Okay.
go from the start.
Okay, let's go from the start. So why I think Brazil hates me, because this is literally the first time we're exchanging words. So not long ago, Brazil and his friend, who apparently created GGDM, we can talk a little bit about that later, had this little private meter, okay? And this private meter had this like really nice health bars, which I shamelessly stole, and we'll get to that later as well. And this little health bar used to show the health of the player and the Gotel stacks, and it was a really nice feature. But Brazil here was acting like a little kid that doesn't really want to share anything. And it was like, look at me, I have this great meter and I'm not going to share it with you. And he said last week, and please don't sell me this bullshit, don't insult my intelligence with that this was
I don't think
because
there's much there to insult, honestly. But
okay,
go
no, no
ahead.
problem, no problem. So last week you said that you didn't do it, you didn't share it because you were concerned about TOS and blah blah blah. And I find it, to be honest, hilarious, the coming from you worried about the TOS. And the most glorious moment of last week's tea time, to be honest, was you after 2 hours of white knighting about the PvP, about BGDM and TOS and whatnot. Literally 1 second after you're done white knighting, you go and tell Boots how to freaking hack Pokemon Go. So yeah, man, coming from
Okay,
you, worried about the TOS, I don't buy it. Now, please go.
so there's a little bit of a difference between Guild Wars 2 and what I've invested in, and Pokemon Go, where my entire experience playing that game was about 15 minutes just seeing how bad I could break it. I like breaking video games. I learn by taking things apart. I don't like it when there's something that I can't break. That's my nature. That's how I work. So Guild Wars 2 from like the start, I really liked the game and I wanted to play it and I made some friends. And so like my delving into breaking the game has been through proxy, through other people, seeing the type of things that like other people make and getting to know them. And like that's really been the extent of it. So the thing with GGDM is that my friend that I've known for like really long time, I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't want to get involved in this, and I don't blame him. I don't have a problem getting involved in this because this is all pretty fun to me. So he made GGDM. He didn't want to release it publicly. He made it for a guild of people that he played with, and he got to the point where he wanted to quit the game, and so they wanted him to make it open source so it could continue on. And he developed networking capabilities for the meter for stat sharing, and also, if he wanted to turn it into a botnet and just ruin people's games and get them banned, more or less. And I think that's in the state that you more or less picked it up from. And I don't know that you recognize that it had those capabilities, but regardless, whatever. He more or less quit the game for a while, and then he came back a little while ago, started developing another meter. He didn't really have a name for it at all, as far as I can tell. Like, he never brought it up. But I got into contact with him again after a while, after raids has been out, and I started using his meter whenever like arc DPS and all the other stuff. I didn't want to use a meter for the longest time because I didn't want to compromise my account, because I don't really violate the terms of service on this account because I like playing the game. I want to keep playing it. So whenever DPS meters kind of got to the point where they were just an unchained beast, I said, all right, whatever, I'll go ahead. It was by his request. He did not want the meter distributed. He didn't want GGDM distributed, but he got pressured into it. And I didn't want to do that to him again. So the whole like delusion that I'm a little kid with candy, I'm using something that a friend made for me and that other friends of mine used, and that like we gave him ideas for feed, and we just use it privately. I talked with Chris Cleary about it a little bit, and we came to the realization that, the HP bars aren't really in accordance with the terms of service, so that's fine. Like, didn't use that. Uploaded videos, took that out. I got rid of the meter for a while at some point. So anyways, like, he's quit the game again, essentially. He got into a conversation with you on Reddit. He doesn't like Reddit. He doesn't like having accounts. He's kind of like what you would consider an actual programmer. He's a little paranoid and quirky and eccentric. He's not just some memeing kid. And so, I don't know. I think you just don't really understand that I'm not being a kid who doesn't want to share candy. I'm just respecting someone who I actually have respect for, respecting their wishes, and not distributing it. And again, if there are parts of it that violate the TOS, I don't want to give that out to other people to compromise their accounts. I've given it out to a couple of people in private before. Like, I could count them on a hand. And I haven't given them updates. It quit functioning after a while just so they could use it for a while and see what it was like. And, I mean, I don't know. Where do you want to go? Do you have a response to any of that?
Of course.
Okay,
I'm just waiting patiently, to giving you the stage. And I do have a response. I hear kind of 2 points in what you were saying. First, about me stealing the source that, weren't really meant to be open source or shared. And second point is me with the HP bars that are against TOS. Let me address 2 of those issues. So first, let's talk about stealing the code, okay? So first, I don't know your friend. I have relentlessly tried to contact him. Even on Reddit, he never wanted to respond to me. And when the point that I took BGDM from GitHub, which is, by the way, the biggest website of source control, everything was there. Who knew? Yes, exactly. I'm just, for the audience who's not programmers, I'm saying that. So the software was there. And when you put software on GitHub and you share it, the whole intentions of that is to share with people, to be able to capitalize upon your work and build something better out of it. I don't know if you've seen Reddit. I'm planning to stop BGDM when coming the expansion and give it to someone else. And there's nothing that would make me more proud than someone else building on top of my work and making something better out of it. So I'm not so sure why you were so, for lack of a better term, butthurt about it. And also, I never denied that BGDM was sourced from GGDM. I told it to anyone who was willing to listen. I gave him credit on the website. Hell, I even named the product based on GGDM. I named it BGDM, okay? Now let's talk a little bit more about what GGDM was really, at what stage it was at. It was so bare bones. I don't know if you've seen the code back then. Like you said, I'm going to use your words from last week. By the way, I don't share the same view. I think GGDM was good. You said hacked garbage, okay? So I don't know, you said I don't know how to code. You said I'm stepping on the keyboard naked, to code, whatever that is. GGDM was freaking bare bones, and I added so much functionality on it. And really beautiful functionality.
Why am I not loading in?
So, if I was your friend,
loading in?
I would be really proud right now of what my product had become.
Can you see this loading screen?
Okay, so that's first. Now let's talk about me developing non-TOS features as these HP bars. Okay, so I am developing that knowingly that this is against the TOS, and I will tell you why. I know it's somewhat rebellious. I know that some people don't really like the attitude, and I'm okay with that. Not long ago, DPS meters that are memory readers were not allowed in the game. And here we are. Memory readers are allowed, and that is okay. So I personally thought, and I don't think that you can disagree with me, being the one who actually came up with the feature, that, health bars that are more visible, especially with GOTO stacks, should be part of the game, right? So I basically made that with the intention that this will somehow, maybe find its way into the game. And that was my whole intention. So yes, I'm a little bit rebellious that after they told me not to, I continue to do that, but that is just my style. If you like it or not, I don't know, that's not my problem. And yes, after I was told not to, I just put it in different DLL, which is exactly what other people do, in other softwares. Let me just, mention here build templates. And I just don't see that this is any different from build templates or any other stuff. Something that is not compliant with the TOS is not compliant with the TOS. So I just saw the best of the game in front of my eyes. And if some people don't like it, that is fine. Perhaps my successor, which hopefully start training next week, is going to be, is going to have less of an attitude and, will be more liked by the community. That's okay. So these are my two answers to what you said.
Okay.
What's the issue here, though? What's the core contention here? Is this like
the core?
Do you just not like each other? You just don't like each other? Is that,
no, I do not have any problem with Brazil. As I said, this is the first time ever I'm speaking to the guy personally. I like him. I think he's very entertaining. I just got all this hate, not even knowing where it's coming from. So I'm here.
I have a little bit of a problem with just like the fundamental mentality of like the kid who installs Linux on a computer in high school and he thinks I'm the god of computers. Open source is the best. I may as well be Eric S. Raymond and, behead those who insult Gentoo and all that good stuff. So like, my friend who is, I don't know shit about coding. I've never been interested in it. It's always seemed boring to me, but he's pretty capable, and the stuff that he does and works on is pretty good. It's pretty impressive stuff. And he's gone through and listed quite a lot of critiques of a lot of the stuff that you do wrong, like getting item IDs, all kinds of other stuff. I don't remember specifically. I didn't go through and screenshot everything because I was happy just to go on in private until the like open source install Linux kid mentality turned into I want to be the hero of Guild Wars 2 in Reddit. That's when I really started to have a problem with you. And like on Reddit, when I said I have enough respect for you to be honest about your, I think it was garbage rat hack of an existence. I mean, like I just really view you as a hack. Like I don't think you've really accomplished anything.
Okay, I'll answer in a bit. Okay.
All right. So like, I'm very much an advocate of like pushing people to go into a direction. So like the HP bars, like I think that's something that should be in the game. I think that all of that data should be easier to see and more readable. I think that how boons and buffs and everything stack up on players' bars, I think it's just a clusterfuck. I think it's a mess. Just how I think that all the visual and noise and the new fractal is a mess. I think that, creating a UI that makes everything more readable and logical and makes a lot of sense and, makes the game more accessible to people. I think that's good. I think that pushing the envelope is a good thing. I think that it's kind of stupid to like develop an NA version, and a Chinese client version when they're really just the same thing, and one of them has a memory editor and like people get a hold of it and turn it into a hack tool and all this other really funny stuff. Like I have a friend, one of my friends that's also friends with the meter guy that I have made the meter. He's been fly hacking since launch. Constantly. He's been fly hacking in some of the videos that I've uploaded. He doesn't care. He wants to get banned from the game, and he hasn't, because for some reason they can't detect all of this stuff. And like he goes into AC, he fly hacks through the end of the dungeon and just solos the Howling King in a wall. Like we were doing Deimos and he got bounced off the side and he said, "That's a stupid mechanic, I'm not dying to it," and he flies back onto the platform. That's stuff that like the public that's stuff that the public really shouldn't have. That's stuff that like people who are willing to like push the envelope behind the scenes should have. And I think distributing GGDM where people can just get that and put a meme and a DL in an INI file and enable it and just go crazy and make Google Drive spreadsheets of hack tables. I could link all of the stuff.
Yeah,
like,
please do.
All right, here we go.
I mean,
Did you see the-
I mean, come on, like that's like saying
Can
that
I
the
answer,
entire
can I answer
principle.
about the memory editor? Can
This
I
is like a
answer
debug.
that?
You said it's a
Yeah,
debug tool,
go ahead.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a debug tool. It helps me, find new offsets so that I can freaking update the meter whenever game patches go on. It helps me debug issues with freaking users whenever they have an issue. I help anyone, literally anyone who ever came to me, and that tool is helping me. So what? Every time someone comes to me, I'll tell them, get this stupid debug version, enable this, enable that, so that I can help them. And you know what would happen then, Brazil? Let me tell you that. I will release this in a private version with the memory editor, and then you're going to get a hold of the version and say, "Oh, look at Bhagawan. He's distributing a secret version with a memory editor," and then I'll get, crucified even more. So no, it's there. It's a tool to help me. I'm not even going to remove it. And let me tell you something else. If someone really knows what he's doing, and really his aim is to hack the game, they don't need my fucking, simple memory editor. They just go, they download a true debugger like x64DBG, and they do anything and more that you can even imagine. Searching the memory, changing stuff online, breakpoints, and whatnot. So yeah, I'm sorry, but this memory editor is really not, it's not a secret. And all the expose you did of me last week, linking, images and stuff, it was hilarious. These are images from my website that are still on my website that I'm not even hiding. What are you linking gear check when I'm behind it? And I'm telling you now publicly, I'm developing it for the China version, which they're allowed to use. Okay, so they can use it on NA. I'm not going to be the policeman to tell people what to do and what not to do. But yeah, so that's how it works. And you want to talk a little bit about the quality and all your friends' critiques about GGDM. I want to see your little friend there, do what I did. I want him to come every single patch and within a freaking 1 hour or two, give a proper meter that works for more than 20K users. I want him to bring
it was more like less than 8 minutes that you would update it and get it working.
Yeah, of course. Everything is theoretical. But who actually did it? Your friend or me? BGDM is the most solid, rock-stable product ever to be freaking invented. It literally, it's a reverse engineering tool. It's so easy to break when new offsets come up. But do you know how many times BGDM actually broke in patches within a year of its existence? Once. There was one patch where there was a change in the binary that I wasn't expecting. It's freaking rock solid. The UI is probably the best UI that you can have for a DPS meter. And by you criticizing my UI, that is also hilarious, having seen that in your videos you're using Arc, which by the way is a great product, which has exactly
this
UI.
Arc DPS is not a good product.
Okay. Never mind.
I don't know if that's fair. I think
you both took an open source UI and tacked it on. It's the Linux.
Do you want them? Yeah, but do you want them to do it? Yeah, but do you want them to do it from scratch? You want them to create their own fucking UI from scratch? Like, why would they do that?
GUI, the library that me and Arc are both using, it's literally meant to be built for overlays in games. And it's cross-platform. It's literally the best that you can have for that kind of purpose. It's the best, tool for the job. And then saying it's garbage, what is better? Have you used Arc before in GUI? With the ANSI UI? Was that really bad?
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I didn't use Arc before. I used Arc when I really didn't have another option.
You're just hating on anything and everything. There's no real discussion with It's just, you're one negative Nancy. You're hating on everyone. Is there something you're happy about in your life? Please tell me.
Yeah, actually. So I've been making a lot of progress in my personal life. If you want to start talking shit about me personally, I've lost about 100 pounds. I disengaged a little bit from Guild Wars 2 because it was getting to be, too much. I've been saving money. I've met a girl. I've been going out and practicing skills, starting to work on a car that, I've wanted to build a car forever. I've been doing a lot of stuff. To say that, is there anything you're even happy with in your life? That's a stupid, immature Linux open source script kiddie response. Which the whole point of you still fail to realize that there are a lot more people out there with that mentality, which they've gotten a hold of your meter and they're happy to turn it into hack tools and they're happy to misuse it and abuse it. So I think maybe you don't really see that and understand that. I think stuff like that getting out into the public is not good. I think it's very good to have, like I said, have people behind the scenes that penetrate and break things and then communicate that to people that develop the game so they can fix it, which they don't really end up ever doing because they don't really give a shit other than making gem store items. So like, again, this is just a disconnect with people who see someone being critical, and the only thing they can think of is this guy just hates everything. This guy's just an asshole. Let me just if everyone on the planet that played Guild Wars 2, Teapot and Inks and all these people, like, they said Guild Wars 2 is the worst game ever made. Guild Wars 2 sucks. Guild Wars 2 is terrible. And they basically, like, took a critical stance like I did. I would be more than happy, and I would feel the need to talk about positives of the game. And I've felt the need to do that before. I feel the need personally to be a different voice than what a lot of people are, and to talk about things that people don't think about because they miss it or they don't want to think about it or whatever the case is. I'm not really a super happy, cheerful guy. That's just not my personality. You know, I've been forged in beer cans and piss my whole life. So the bringing the argument and the discussion back down to, is there anything that you're even happy about in your life, is stupid and juvenile, and it doesn't contribute anything.
Can we talk about the hacking shit? Because just because it can be used as a hack tool, like, hardly anyone uses BGM as a hack tool. And let's be real, like, your car could be used for great evil, right? You could run someone over with that shit, dude. Just because it has a bad application doesn't mean that's the application it's intended
I'm
for,
not the
or that it's going to be used for, though, dude.
Over with my car.
Well, no, but then I don't run people over with BGDM, dude. I run BGDM.
But it wasn't restrained enough. There weren't.
What?
I don't think the proper fail safes were put in to make sure that people, you know, couldn't get to whatever it is that's nefarious about the not even necessarily
but there's
nefarious.
Nothing, I mean, like, even the TOS breaking stuff isn't nefarious, really. I don't think
they have. I'm pretty sure that Chris Cleary.
No. It's against TOS 100%. Like, the health bars, we agreed it's against TOS, but it's not nefarious. It's not like hacking the game. It's not allowed, but
continuing after the fact and saying, I'm not going to stop breaking the terms of service, blah blah blah. That gets into the realm of being, you know, just maybe a little bit not the correct thing to do. I'll just leave it a little vague like that.
Okay, Brazil. Well, what can I tell you, man? I feel like, you know, it's a little bit derailed now, and, you know, it's going to turn into a circle jerk, and I kind of always addressed everything that you said. And, you know, I'm hoping everyone understood my point of view. And if you have anything else to say to me, I'd be happy to answer it. And if not, then, you know, I wish everyone all the best, and I think we're kind of done, right?
I don't see there's much of a contention here. I have to say, I don't think there's a lot of disagreement.
Yeah.
Honestly, quite frankly.
I agree with you, Teapot.
I mean, yeah, you don't like that BGM gets abused, but then surely, like, pretty much every meter could be abused. You could probably use Arc to abuse, right, as well. And if you knew what you were doing, you could probably turn Arc into some kind of hack or something like that, right?
You've missed it again.
Of course, with the combat API that he now released, you can do anything.
I have a
problem do it.
with the developer behind the meter who has this shitty piss kid attitude and feels the need to be the Reddit hero and tack on a bunch of stuff. It's open source and not really do anything, at least correctly, that you've developed yourself. Like that's what I have the problem with. I have a problem with you as the person and with your core.
I got it. Okay, Brazil. So
I don't have a problem with tools at all.
Let me answer that, and we'll finish the conversation here, because obviously this has turned into a personal attack, and we're all agreeing that, you know, professional level. Okay, then I'll just tell you this about the accusation of me being a kid. Listen, Brazil, and I'm going to just hope that what I'm going to say now, the meaning is not going to get lost in the translation, because I'm literally translating directly from Israeli slang. I'm just going to say that this is a next level meme, guys. And after that, I'm just going to Brazil. What you are now just discovering from the front, I've done from behind. So let's just end it here. I hope you understood what I'm saying. But, you know, I think this conversation is done.
were you the puppet master all along? Is that what you're getting at? I don't understand.
I'm not even going to try and explain it. And
Okay.
I think we're done. Thank you so much, Brazil. I still like you. I have I hold no grudge. I don't
finish the conversation with that, so people think you're the good guy, and you can tell people I'm the bad guy. That's what it's always been. It's always been me having a problem with you as a person, as an individual, which I don't have a problem saying, and you trying to be the good guy, make yourself look like the hero, and that's what I. Like you said, I don't know what else there is to say. I think we've been over it a couple of times for a long time, since even before we spoke in voice.
I just have a question.
Sure.
Yeah.
So my question is, when you developed BGDM as a tool, did you develop it with features that you knew broke the terms of service?
Listen, when I developed BGDM, it was by definition breaking terms of service. It wasn't even allowed. There was a period in time, if you remember, where in-memory DPS meters were just not allowed at all. So yeah, by definition, BGDM was a reverse engineered, injected module that is not compatible with TOS. So yes, the answer is yes.
All right.
Does anyone?
Okay, boys.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I mean, yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for being patient.
Let me ask one more thing. This isn't going to be an attack or
let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, we want to sort this all out. At the end of the day, we want to sort this all out. So we want to get it all out of our system here, guys. I don't want people to leave here with kind of feeling like it was left incomplete, guys. You know what I'm saying?
So have you been okay with it if you were going to continue developing BGDM and the person that you found to take your place? Is there going to be a continual, perpetual, violation of the terms of service moving forward? And are you okay with that?
Okay, so I'll answer that. When I'm passing the torch, I intend to pass the entire responsibility on the meter to the person, and he can decide for himself if he wants, to continue development of the China service or whatnot. And I'm not going to have any part of it. I'm basically transferring all ownership, and they can decide. That said, the person who I'm with in discussion right now about continuing development, he doesn't want to continue the non-TOS development. So probably there won't be any more gear check and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's fair. I mean, I think that, although it is against TOS, I mean, let's be honest here, guys. Does anyone really think that gear check is malicious? Maybe there are like 5 guys who would use it maliciously that actually publicly expose people. Those people are going to be assholes anyway. It just like
no, and I wish that ArenaNet would let us do
yeah,
those
just have
things.
a gear check. I mean, I don't have a...
But they won't.
I realize...
You know what? You know what's
my
also
point.
funny, Teapot? I'll tell you what's also funny is people like being, a little bit of hypocritical. Maybe they just don't understand. They're just saying, build templates are not so bad. Oh, this is not... People have this like something against check is somewhat sensitive, but I don't see it that way. I see as a feature, either it's TOS compliant or it's not. If ArenaNet said it shouldn't be in the game, then I don't care what you think. Build templates are not in the game just yet. So comparing, gear check to build templates and saying this is good and this is not, in my opinion, this is wrong. If you want to make a change and, own up to it and be behind it. But saying that build templates are less of a crime than gear check just because it's a sensitive subject is a no-go in my book.
And I would agree with that. If it breaks the terms of service set by ArenaNet, you should not be developing a tool that breaks the terms of service.
I mean, there's some argument to be made that there is a kind of intrusive factor in gear check, whereas build templates is really just something that really ought to be in the game.
It breaks the terms of service.
Yeah, but we don't make the rules. ArenaNet makes the rules, and unfortunately they said no. So
I love build templates. I like gear check. I have no problem with DPS meters. I think those can all be good tools. But ArenaNet doesn't agree, unfortunately, with my view. It's unfortunate. That's what it is. Anyway, I have a pizza coming.
Pizza? What kind of pizza you getting, dude?
It's
fucking
Hawaiian.
DCs, man. Our boy just DC. Now we got no damage, man. Now the ooze is killing us. What the fuck, dude? Our boy is lagging. We're doing this for
Teapot's
4 people.
muted. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah.
You
I
are.
was
I'm a
on the stream.
hypocrite. I use DPS meters. I have never used a DPS meter in Guild Wars 2. Not for a single second. I have not used any sort of injector. I have not used anything to alter the game, period. So you're absolutely wrong.
Okay, boys, with your permission, I will just leave the conversation now. I think we're kind of done.
I think that
coming on.
kind of
Okay.
rounds it
Thank you
off.
so
Really,
much,
unless
Teapot. Thank
yeah,
you, Oinks. Thank
if-
you, Brazil.
I mean, yeah, if you
I
want to
really-
have some kind of final word,
By
then
the
please,
way,
go ahead
I
and
love you
just drop
guys,
it.
and I love the game still. And I'm not going anywhere. Not going to leave everybody stranded, without a meter. Hopefully, this will be sorted out soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of a confused situation. I don't think it's nearly as bad as we initially thought. There's not really a lot of drama here. It's just like a personal disagreement at the end of the day. I mean, I think BGDM and Arc are, both fine tools, and I mean, yeah, you can abuse them. It is definitely true they can be abused, but I mean, that's kind of the same thing for a lot of things within the game already. So I don't think it's evil or anything like that. I think it's just a bit of a personal disagreement. It's fire. It's legit fire, guys. Like, it's straight fire. But I don't know. Not a lot of real drama, guys. I don't know.
I love the drama.
Yeah.
Love it. Do you play Merfolk? Frost says, yes, I play Fish.
Now bring on Fion. Now that would be a really...
Sure, let's bring on Fion. Fion is basically
one after the other.
just
Come
like
on,
Trump.
come on.
He's gone.
Come on.
All right. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it?